everybody? It is your girl, Miss Cat, your coach, accountability partner, and teacher.
And it's your girl, LiShon the Don from the Party Palace.
Girl, look, I know this is supposed to be professional and everything like that, but
Keep it professional,
we
Cat.
we got to get into it today. Like today, this is bubbling inside of me, okay? So I'm at this event this weekend, okay? And this guy called himself trying to holler at me. Now, let's just jump right into it because dating as an entrepreneur, I just think that it's something, I think it's different. I think it's totally different. And the reason being is because it's not that a guy has to make a certain amount of money, to me, in my opinion, but I do think that it's unequally yoked if you try to holler at somebody that's not in your pay bracket. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. But what you think about that?
I'm a little bit more on married for love. So to speak.
Okay.
No, but no, seriously, like a guy doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. When you meet somebody, a lot of times you don't know right off that, you know, they don't make six figures or they don't make whatever. You don't know right off. So it's hard to say. But I don't feel like it's you know, it's set in stone that they have to be an entrepreneur or they have to make a certain amount of money. I mean, you don't know that from the start anyway.
Okay, so let me be clear. So I don't think that a guy has to be an entrepreneur per se.
Okay.
Right? But in my opinion, I think that if you're trying to pursue somebody that's in a certain tax bracket, that you should bring some level of something to the table.
Okay.
So you can't date somebody that make, a millionaire and think that, oh, I work at Kroger or you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and think that that's going to be sufficient. And let me just tell you from personal experience. So at one time in my life, I was dating this guy, right?
Okay.
And he like bluntly told me like, if my girl make more, like I'm the man. I am the man of the house. I'm the provider. Like if my girl, I can't date somebody that make more money than me. Like just point blank period. So I think the insecurity sometimes, builds up in men, especially when you're dealing with a successful woman.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That, now I'm not the provider. Now I'm not XYZ. So it makes the man insecure. That's just my opinion. What you thinking?
Yeah, I think that may turn out to be a problem. For sure, when it comes to the amount of money you make, again, I'm not saying that they have to make more than me. Of course, be able to take care of yourself. That's important to me. Just be able to take care of yourself, and then we can work from there. Because you don't know right off how much money somebody makes. Now, how you carry yourself is the type of person that's going to approach you. I feel like that's the case too.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like,
so let me ask you this. If you out and about, you doing your thing, and some guy, approach you or whatever, you get to dating him, and you realize that he makes minimum wage. Sean the Don. So he makes minimum wage. Tell me about how does that work? Don't
not wait a minute, not minimum wage.
Minimum wage. Because we marrying for love, remember?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this. I'm not marrying it into a struggle. I'm not. But I think in the dating phase, there's some things that you have to be open and honest about.
Okay.
Like I do feel like you have to be open and honest about those things. And then you gotta set up some type of system, so to speak, to be able to do some background checking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to be able to do some background checking. But I do also feel like when you get with someone, whether it be just to date casually or if it's for a husband or whatever, like you want to be with someone through all seasons. And I think I'd rather start with someone who may be a little bit more mediocre when I meet them versus already kind of up there, so to speak. I'm not.
we agree to disagree
All
type
the time. All the
sisters.
time.
So no, I don't want to build a man. I don't want to build a bear.
No,
You know
not
what I'm
necessarily
saying?
build a man. I don't want to build a man. I don't want something from somebody that I can't provide.
Okay.
So I want someone who can provide what I can provide.
Okay.
So whatever stage of life, financially or whatever I'm in, then of course I'd be checking for those things. So you got to use some discernment too.
Okay, but so because I see how you just laughed off that question though. Minimum wage. Minimum wage. You know what I'm saying? But he looked good, smelled good, looked like he carried himself well. Minimum wage though. No. Why not?
First of all, a minimum wage ain't even gonna say nothing to me. That's the first thing. He's not even gonna say anything to me.
Okay.
So I mean,
what if he had? But what if I forgot that movie when the waiter was hollering at the CEO. They sometimes they get a little ballsy. Something get inside of them where they feel like what today I'm gonna take my leap.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
and I'm gonna be up here as a cliff that you're jumping off of. No.
What happened to the love though?
I mean, but I'm saying though, like shrimp, really Cat. Like, I mean, I just think that there's a process when you're dating somebody, you're gonna get to know whether or not that's for you or not. But you also don't want to block your blessings, so to speak, by saying, "Oh, he don't have this or he don't have that." If you're dealing with somebody who insecure, they're gonna be insecure whether they got money or not.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always gonna be something if you're dealing with somebody that's insecure.
So let me ask you this though, like bringing it to the entrepreneurial perspective.
Okay.
How do you feel about dating as an entrepreneur though? Dating not just as an entrepreneur, but a woman, of course, you know what I'm saying? But do you find any difference like with dating? And I would say, and I'm going to use regular men for lack of better terms, because it's not the same. We already understand that check writers are not the same as check cashers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your perspective on dating a check casher at this level in the game?
What benefits come with him? That's what I want to know.
Okay. So you saying like if it's a W-2, they got that health insurance?
Hello.
Okay. So and for me, my perspective is this. I don't have to date an entrepreneur, just for clarity. Like, so for all the men that's out, if you want to date me, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but I do need stability. You get what I'm saying? I need stability.
Understood.
I need to, if we just like, because I'm not, contrary to how it may appear or how it might be perceived, like I don't need a man to make a certain type of money to be with me, because regardless if I have a man or not, like I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna make sure that me and mine is taken care of, period. Like,
okay, so why does it matter if he is?
Well, this is what I was gonna say. This is what I'm about to say about that. So stability is important to me, because once you come to the table, I'm presuming that it's going to be something that you're going to take care of. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm going to be dependent on you to maintain whatever that is. So like, even if it's like hair, nails, you know what I mean? Like whatever your role is, once you come to the table, like I just need that consistency. You can't be like, yo, like I got the mortgage this month and then next month it's something different. Like it's always something like that is what will turn me off. Okay. Now look, if your paycheck, your 9 to 5, 8 to 5 paycheck, if it only can cover, the main, at this juncture in the game, mortgage, that's one of the biggest bills one would have, right? Okay. So let's just say if all you can do is cover the mortgage, like I'm cool with that until, it's not consistent. Like me, I need consistency. That's how my life functions.
Okay, first of all, let's just get this out there. You're not gonna meet a man that has everything. So you got to be willing to give and take some too. I am. Just reeling back into the entrepreneur question, it's like if a man meets you during this this period of your life, then there's some things that you need to be open and honest about when you meet him, when you start dating him, being open, being honest, letting him know about your schedule, letting him know you have a life already. So
Yeah.
that way, when he comes into your space, he's respectful of that. He can deal with you, whether that be financially, your time, your emotions, just everything. I think that he'd be more aware and he can kind of make his decision from there. Ask the same thing for you. You can make your decision from there.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because, of course, like I'm making it all financial, right? But when you are dating someone that is not accustomed to the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, you get what I'm saying? Like right now, in the middle of us filming this, if the right phone call came through, I like pause, hold up, like let's cut. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Like, you know, in the nighttime, you know, sometimes I've been in relationships in the past where the phone ring, you know, at certain type of time of the night, this, that, and the third. Now, I ain't never been married as an entrepreneur, so I don't know what that would look like. But as a dating, like if my phone ring and it's business, like it's business. But like you said, I think having that conversation
at the beginning,
you know, at the beginning, like, yo, this is what I do. Like we were just talking to someone earlier when they were saying like, hey, I do, you know, film photography, and my girl was tripping, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to take pictures of models and this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like if you're going to date an entrepreneur and you are a check casher, let's be clear, I'm talking to you, check casher. If you're a check casher, you need to be in tune and make sure that you understand like what is the day-to-day of that person. Like, is that fair to say?
Yeah. I think too, like, again, it goes back to the very beginning to me, like just laying it out there, letting people know what you bring to the table, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That includes your schedule. That includes money. Like all those things need to be discussed in the beginning. Like we're just in a time now where people kind of hold some back.
Yeah.
You know, they'll spoon feed somebody. But I feel like just let it all out in the beginning. So that way you know what you're dealing with. We ain't gonna waste each other's time.
And to be honest with you, I don't think that's just with like entrepreneur. That's dating, period. Like period, point blank. If you dating somebody, I think that's where people fail because, like you said, I'm trying to be mysterious. I'm trying to make it seem like I'm more.
No, I ain't trying to be mysterious because I don't want you being mysterious with me.
No, I'm saying that I'm not trying to be mysterious, but I'm saying in most cases, people try to be mysterious or like, I'm not going to give them my full self until I really, you know, get to know them. But then what happens is that people catch feelings, and then after that time, it's already too late because now I'm caught feelings, this, that, and the third. And I didn't know that you were a workaholic, or I didn't know that, you know.
But like, that's why it's important to, like, even when you're not busy, act like you're busy. So that way people don't feel like your whole world is centered around them, or you're not always available to them. Like, because you're not always going to be available to them. Being an entrepreneur is ups and downs. It's busy. It's slow. It's, you know, it's all kinds of things. So at the end of the day, like, you just definitely got to let people know, you know, what you got going on.
But playing devil's advocate to what you just said, you said sometimes act like you busy. So you don't think that'll cause conflict? Because what if your better half catches on to the fact that sometimes you're acting like you're busy, and then
I'm busy when I'm not busy. My mind is busy. I'm mentally busy. So, you know, they can catch on to whatever. But I mean, until we get to that point, a serious point, or it's going to the next level, then those are things that we will discuss. But you got to have a life of your own. And you have very little of that when you're an entrepreneur a lot of times. So, I mean, you just got to be with somebody that's understanding. And I think one of the first questions you should be asking somebody when you're dating them is, how do you feel about dating an entrepreneur? If they are a check casher. If they're a check casher, you need to ask them, how do they feel about a check writer? Because then you're going to have a problem up the road.
That is true.
So
have you ever ran into a circumstance where you being an entrepreneur was a conflict in the dating side? Because it seemed like I'm the only one with the conflict
no,
here.
I have not had the conflict of that. Like, I haven't. Like, I dated a Czech writer, and we got along good.
Okay.
Especially schedule wise, kind of was on the understanding side. And I've dated a Czech cashier, but he was like upper level at his job. So it still worked out. Like, you just get with people that respect what you have going on, that have a life for themselves. So that way, if you're not available, then
they don't seem like
I'm ready to see you or whatever. No. Like, I just ain't never had that issue. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can talk about what I've been through, of course, but for the most part, like, I hadn't been with anyone that's been a problem for, because I've always been ambitious. Yeah. So I mean, when people know that you're ambitious, then they know that you live a certain lifestyle. Like, they don't even come to you with that certain type of way.
I mean, you would think, but I mean, like, for me, I mean, I remember being to the point where I was doing movies, and I'm talking about, so the feature film that I did with, a couple of years ago with ESG, we had over 100 actors that was in that. And I was like single-handedly, like, did the schedule and this, that, and the third. And I would still get like, why your phone ringing, or why you gotta just get up and just go, and and I'm
I feel like you ignored some signs.
You think so?
Yeah,
you think that's what that
signs.
is?
You had to have ignored some signs, because people don't just wake up one day and say, "Why is your phone ringing?" and they know you doing
like major things.
You got motion.
Yeah.
If they don't have no motion, then
But as an entrepreneur, what's your perspective on that though? Like when do you get to is there ever a point in entrepreneurship where it's like, okay, after 5 o'clock, I'm cutting my phone off because of my guy? No. Because of my situation.
The meter on my light bill is still running after 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm not cutting my ring off.
For clarity, what you're saying is that if you're in a relationship, then your guy has to... He has to understand that.
Yes. And I would do the same. Like, I would do the same. It wouldn't be an issue. If we plan something,
that's different.
Yeah. But if we didn't plan anything, again, it goes back to in the beginning. In the beginning, I said I was a busy person.
I got you.
Feel me on it. Like, let's try and work together.
I got
what I'm saying?
I got you.
Nah, I don't know. I can't speak from experience on that.
Like I said, I've been in circumstances doing I'm talking about major things. Okay. And I'm still getting questioned. I'm still cut your phone off, So like you said, it could have been like signs and red flags and things of that nature that I ignored. That's why I'm single.com right now. Right. But at the end of the day, I think I have your same sentiment in regard of like, yo, my phone is my phone. And if it's business on this phone, now granted, I live and die by my calendar though. So I literally schedule time with my kids. I schedule like if any extended.
But everybody don't live like that.
Well, I'm not saying that everybody should. But what I'm saying is, for me, if somebody's gonna date me, then I would just schedule in our time. Like you said, if we have something planned, I'm gonna schedule that. So that means that if it's anything outside of that schedule, boo, like I don't want to hear nothing about it, because I'm going to schedule and give you the the time that you deserve.
But don't start doing that in the middle of the relationship. Definitely.
I ain't in a relationship right now.
Well, when you get in a relationship, we don't want that starting in the middle. That need to be day one.
Yeah,
that's day one.
And I'm cool with that. I'm just saying that I was just agreeing with your sentiment of like, can't nobody stop me from doing business. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But if somebody has a problem with that, that's not your person.
Yeah.
That's not your person.
Especially, I guess, in this level of entrepreneurship. Like, I do this for real. Like, anybody who knows me knows that I live, eat, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that I do revolves
Right.
around business. So
Right.
if you're gonna be, and that's with my friends, family, everybody that is in synergy in my life, like
Yeah.
that's how life is. So like you said, I do agree. Like you cannot be my person thinking that I'm gonna turn my phone
Yeah.
off at 5 o'clock.
I mean,
That,
I think
like,
I just from day one I tell people how I eat and what I eat depends on how I move, how I'm working. So if I'm busy this week, but next week I'm not busy, I want you to understand that.
Well, let me throw a little monkey wrench in the conversation.
Oh, Lord.
So what if you meet a big boss though that's like, yo, you don't even have to work no more.
It costs to be the boss. I know you don't. I know you know that.
I'm just
I
saying.
know you know that.
But,
I know
so
you
what
know
I'm
that.
saying is, you got the boss of bosses.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And he
Mhm.
like, yo,
Mhm.
you know, kudos, Party Palace, but you know, LiShon the Don, you gonna have to replace her
Yeah.
because I got this over here.
That means we replacing it with something.
Oh, so what I'm saying, so I guess what I'm asking is like, will you be willing to give up entrepreneurship for the right relationship? And again, if that person brings a certain level of whatever that may be, like, would you be willing to give it up?
The right relationship is not going to make me give up anything that means something to me.
Okay.
That makes me who I am.
Gotcha.
The right relationship is not going to make you give up something that makes you who you are. That's your lifestyle. I just don't think that.
So even if he's like, I'm talking about super dog rich, and he's like, Sean, like it ain't like whatever your heart desire.
But no matter how much money a man has, you want to have your own together.
Okay.
So you still you got to have a life. You got to be doing your own thing too.
Because look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If somebody to this moment, like, yo, I got you, you know, I will go bat shit crazy. Like I'm gonna go bat crazy because the way that my mind, I'm a creative, I'm gonna want to do something. So what's gonna end up happening is I'm just gonna take a portion of their money and just make some kind of business on the side. Like
he can lighten the load for sure. He can lighten the load for sure. But I mean, like, I wouldn't do it to somebody, and wouldn't want them doing it to me.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't ask you to give up something that means something to you. And anybody that I've met, anybody that I know, they know that you can't possibly ask me to give that up, no matter how much money you have. You know what I mean?
But
Like,
what if they don't ask you? They just like, Sean, like, we, you know, don't even trip. Like they not asking you. You just so in love, and you know, look, I see that smile on your face. Look, you just so in love, and they like, yo, like I want to come. You know, I want to be that man. I want to be the provider. I want to give you everything. So you with that?
I'm with that.
Okay.
But I still have a life of I still think you need to have a life of your own.
Yeah, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, whatever that looks like.
Because like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take your money and I'm just gonna build some businesses on the side that I don't never have to just work.
Right.
But I will, like, I don't think there'll be ever I don't care how much money I make, what I'm doing in life, I don't think there'll ever be a time when I'm not an entrepreneur, because once I get to this, like if my goal is I need to hit this, once I hit this goal, then my mind is going to say, okay, how can we get here? Goal. Like it never stops with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. That's another topic for another day.
It's good, but I mean,
to your point though, like I don't think it's any money or man or whatever. Now, like you said, it'll be light. They'll be like, dang, Cat ain't showed up for a couple of weeks. You know, where well, Cat in Dubai right now. Whatever. But I'm just saying. So I might be missing missing in action for a little while. But I'm going to always come back. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to come back and come see y'all. You feel me? I just might come back on the jet or, you know how
I can't with this lady. I cannot with this lady. I mean, I just again, just to get back to the subject, like it's a task dating an entrepreneur. It really is a task, and that's for both sides. So choose wisely.
I got you.
That's it. Choose wisely.
And in my opinion, just kind of closing this thing up and just really landing the plane, for lack of better terms, I think it's what you said initially. Whether you're dating an entrepreneur, whoever you date,
check writer or check casher.
Check writer, check casher. I think that it's very imperative that y'all sit down, stop trying to be secretive, stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Just be yourself, because
lay it out there.
Lay it out, because guess what? There may be a chick that say, you know what? I can work with that.
Right.
Like, I could really work with that. But I think the problem was when people trying to be secret and make it seem like who they not, and then they get in that relationship.
Right.
And it's like, oh, no, you was lying this whole time. You was somebody that, somebody who you was trying to be somebody you not. So the thing is that open, honest conversation, you never know. You never know. That person may say, that was just, God sent me exactly what I was looking for. Exactly that was the missing piece to this big puzzle of this empire.
And that's, to me, even before all of this, I think that like involving God in your move, in your steps, everything is going to be ordered. So I don't feel like somebody is going to come into your life and drastically change some of the things that you are accustomed to, unless it's to better you.
For sure.
It wouldn't be anything to make you dumb yourself down.
Hey.
But you got to be self-aware too, but that's another topic for another day, for sure.
For sure. So like we say, guys, girls, check writers, check cashers, y'all stay tapped in. We gonna talk about it all. And so today we was talking about dating. Just do your homework, be upfront, be self-aware, use your discernment,
exactly.
Right? And just catch us next week, okay? Because we got more in store for you. So I'm Cat, your coach, accountability partner, and your teacher.
And I'm LiShon the Don from the Party Palace.
And we're both sides of the check.